Kiramager episode 8. We finally get to see how the new mech, Machine Express, comes to be. King Express. Or, technically, actually it's both of those. Machine Express is just the white mech, or train, and then King Express is the combination. So a few things about the episode for the story. It continues from the previous episode. Drew's, exhausted because everyone's trading him to death. The Rangers are a little mad that he, passed out in such an important battle, but then Machine Fire actually, kind of steps in and points out that, he's been exhausted, but he's been pushing through because he, acknowledges the help that he could use in those areas, and also kind of his inability to say no, kind of. I might be misinterpreting it. And then, he has another dream sequence with the king, and he actually meets the king rather than just kind of witnessing, which is how his dreams have normally been. It's been pointed out by Garza and Moshina how similar Drew is to the king, some of the expressions he says, and some of his demeanor. I think one phrase was how can I, do I need a reason to help someone or something like that? And it pisses off Garza because it's cut the goody two-shoes act and stuff like that. But then it leads me to speculate some things, which I'll get to later. And then, after the fight, Drew is training the other Rangers in how to draw and the importance of, the artistry. And it's a small credit to his character, when everyone's apologizing to him for overworking him and overtraining him. I actually thought he was going to say, oh, it's no problem, don't worry about it. But he actually kind of sticks up for himself. So, yeah, good for him. So I guess just on to a few comments about the mech. I was actually genuinely surprised, how different this mech is. For starters, now for some reason I thought the mech already existed, but then, Drew still had to draw the mech together. And then, it's actually made using the white, stone or crystal that Moshina came in episode 0. And, because of that, it's not sentient like everyone else, doesn't have a voice or a mind or AI like everyone else. So that was a big surprise. And then the eventual crap, I lost my train of thought. So it turns out that the king made this mech should anything happen to the other mech, which is the one that Garza has. Garza corrupted it and turned into the smog jockey, or machine jockey, according to the wiki. And that's what gave it a dinosaur form. So that's actually the foil or antithesis to that. But the weird and interesting part is that they can combine. How they handled it is different. He just forced it to combine, and it can operate with 2 pilots, but they don't need to be in sync. There was a part where Garza was gonna try to blast itself in full-on mech form, but then Drew disconnects, the blast goes off, and then reconnects, and then final finisher and everything. So, not only have I not seen this before, like to this extent in detail, it's going to create an interesting dynamic moving forward. Like, are they going to eventually, not team up, but are they eventually going to recapture the machine Joki for themselves and, reconvert it? Or, because, like, the closest, like, form of this I can think of is, like what I mentioned before, the Dark Horse mech from Mod Ranger. It can combine with the villain, or it can combine with the hero, which was just Maji Red. But because it's able to kind of play both sides, but even then, that's a little bit of a stretch from what I'm trying to describe. And then, usually anytime pilots are in disagreement, it's because they're on the same team and they're disagreeing. It's never like, one mech is made up from the villain side and the hero side. So that will be an interesting dynamic moving forward. Couple other notes. Gotta mention it just in case I didn't finish my thought. Apparently, he uses the Kiramager couplers from the Tokyo Resha. So, potential reference, but also, sometimes they just reuse props because it's easier and it's train themed. So, I guess it fits. And, they're also, both trains are, well, one's more like a bullet train, the other one's like a steam train. And then they both have a dinosaur theme as well, like the like Machine Express can like you can kind of make out eyes and teeth. So another fun parallel. It's also pointed out that a white dinosaur and a black dinosaur, kind of like the Cosmos Raptor from New Soldier. So that's cool. Kind of like the juxtaposition, not juxtaposition, the contrast, the yin yang. I think it was really interesting to see this one play out, and I'm interested even more to see how it plays out further moving forward. Speaking of how everything's going to play out moving forward, I want to speculate a little bit about the king's appearance and his importance in the whole story. I feel like, so I don't know how I'm going to explain it. So it reminded me of the anime SSSS Gridman. And spoiler alert for those who didn't watch it or aren't going to watch it. But there's a plot line where Gridman inhabits a human, but something in the transfer process goes wrong. So the human has amnesia. So he's not really knowing what happened. So he's not really sure what happened, why he got amnesia. But Gridman is kind of dormant. It was confusing, but it made sense watching it. It was like, let me try again. Gridman inhabited a human. I think something went wrong during the transfer process. And then Gridman wakes up as the human, but he kind of forgets that he's Gridman because of the amnesia, and he wasn't awakened yet. He was dormant. It was like his powers and personality came out. That's why he's able to become Gridman, but he doesn't remember that he's Gridman, so he doesn't remember the mission and his purpose and stuff like that. And I feel like something similar has happened with Judo and the King. When the king was killed, we'll see. he may have tried to inhabit Juru, and that's why he keeps showing up in his dreams. But Juru doesn't know that. The king hasn't really made a full appearance yet. Like, he hasn't, like, fully possessed Juru. So, I'm kind of expecting it to go a similar way. And it's fine if it does. But, if it doesn't, then that's cool too. But yeah, I just want to speculate a little bit, and I want to think that it's going that particular plot line. Because we'll see what happens. It's only episode 8, or on to episode 9. So we'll see. I just kind of wanted it on record because, interesting enough, I'm wearing my Infinity War shirt, and it's funny that was 2 years ago to the day, and 1 year later, Endgame came out, and I predicted right before the movie in Find My Friends, I think Iron Man's gonna die, and they're going to do the old man Rogers thing where, Steve Rogers just lives out and becomes old. And I basically got it right. So, but I never got it on record. And I'm just kind of doing it so I can get on record and say, oh, I was right. For fun. But, we'll see where it goes. And, I think some of the delays are starting to set in. So, just keep going for as long as I can.